Shalom and welcome to Torah and Coffee. Here's my Torah and here's my coffee. Last week I didn't do Torah and coffee because it was a very busy week. We celebrated several holy days. And then Thursday we had the National Day of Prayer. And Friday evening, going on Saturday, our son got married. So we were very busy that week, so I didn't do Torah. But I want to catch up with the reading of Torah. So I'm going to read last week's today first. And then I'm going to do another coffee and Torah for this week. So sit back and enjoy. Leviticus chapter 19, starting on verse 1. And Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say to them, Be Kodesh, or holy, for I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am Kodesh. In other words, this is where you find, Be ye holy, for I am holy. 3. In each one of you should revere his mother and his father, and guard my Shabbos. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Do not turn to idols, and do not make for yourself molten mighty ones. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. 5. And when you bring the peace offering to Yahweh, bring it for your acceptance. If it is eaten the same day, and slaughter it. 6 again. It is eaten the same day, you slaughter it, and on the next day, and that which is left on the third day is burned with fire. So if it is eaten at all on the third day, it is abomination, it is not accepted. And he who eats it bears his wickedness, because he has profaned the Kodesh offering of Yahweh, and that being shall be cut off from his people. And when you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field, or gather the gleanings of your harvest. 10. And do not clean your vineyards, or gather every grape of your vineyard. Leave them for the poor and the strangers. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another, and do not swear falsely by my name, and so profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yahweh. Do not oppress your neighbors, and do not rob the wages of him who is hired. It is not to remain with you all night until morning. Do not curse to death, or put a stumbling block before the blind, but revere your Elohim. I am Yahweh. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling. Do not be partial to the poor, or favor the face of the great, but rightly rule your neighbor in righteousness. Do not go slandering among your people. Do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yahweh. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain, and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance, or bear a grudge against the children of your people, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahweh. This is where we get from love your neighbor as yourself. Guard my laws. Do not let your livestock mate with another kind. Do not sow your field with mixed seed, and do not put a garment woven or two sorts of threats upon it. 20. And when a man has intercourse with a woman who is a female servant, engaged to a man, and who has not at all been ransomed or redeemed, no freedom given there, should be an inquiry, but they are not put to death, because she was not free. And he shall bring his guilt offering to Yahweh, to the door of the tent of appointment, a ram as a guilt offering, and the Cohen shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before Yahweh for his sin which he has done, and the sin which he has sinned shall be forgiven. And when you come into the land and have planted all kinds of trees for food, then you shall reckon the fruit as uncircumcised for 3 years. It is as uncircumcised to you. It is not eaten. And in the 4th year, all its food is Kodesh, praises to Yahweh, and the 5th year to eat its fruit, so that it increases its yield to you. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Do not round the corner of your head, nor destroy the corner of your beard. Oh. And do not make any cuttings on your flesh for the dead, nor put tattoo marks on you. I am Yahweh. Do not profane your daughter by making her a whore, so that the land does not whore, and the land becomes filled with wickedness. 30. Guard my Shabbat oath, and reverence my mikdash, for I am Yahweh. Do not turn to mediums, and do not seek after spirits to be defiled by them. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Rise up before the great-headed, and you shall favor the face of an old man, and shall revere your Elohim. I am Yahweh. And when a stranger sojourns with you in your land, do not oppress him. Let the stranger who dwells among you to be you. Let me read this again. Verse 34. Let the stranger who dwells among you be to you as a native among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Do no unrighteousness in the right ruling, or in measuring liquids. Have right scales, right weights, a right ephah, and a right hin. I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And you shall guard all my laws and all my right rulings, and do them. I am Yahweh. Chapter 20. And Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, Say to the children of Israel, any man of the children of Israel, or of a stranger who sojourns in Israel, who gives any of his offerings to Molech, shall certainly be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I shall turn my face against that man, and shall cut him off from the midst of his people, because he has given of his offering to Molech, so as to defile my mikdash, and to profane my Kodesh name. And if the people of the land at all hide their eyes from the man, as he gives any of his offerings to Molech, and they do not kill him, then I shall turn my face against that man and against the clan, and shall cut him off, and all who go whoring after him, even go whoring after Molech from the midst of their people, and the being who turns to mediums and to spirits to go whoring after them, I shall turn my face against that being and cut him off from the midst of his people. And you shall kodesh yourself, and shall be kodesh, for I am Yahweh, your Elohim. And you shall guard my laws and do them. I am Yahweh, who kodesh you. For everyone who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother, his blood is on him. And the man who commits adultery with the wife of another man, who commits adultery with the wife of his neighbor, the adulterer and the adulteress shall certainly be put to death. And a man who lies with the wife of his father has uncovered the nakedness of his father. Both of them shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. A man who lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall certainly be put to death. They have made confusion. Their blood is upon them. And the man who lies with a male as he lies with a woman, both of them have done an abomination. They shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. And the man who marries a woman and her mother, it is wickedness. They are burned with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness in your midst. You notice the difference. And chapter 20, verse 14, when a man marries a girl and her mother, he shall be burned to death. Not stoned, but burned. 15. And the man who has intercourse with a beast, he shall certainly be put to death, and the beast you kill. And the woman who approaches any beast and mates with him, you shall kill the woman and the beast. They shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. And the man who takes his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and sees her nakedness, and she is naked, and she sees his nakedness, it is a reproach, and they shall be cut off before the eyes of the people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He bears his wickedness. And the man who lies with a woman during the sickness and uncovers her nakedness, he has left bare the flow, and she has uncovered the flow of her blood. Both of them shall be cut off, and from the midst of their people. And do not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor of your father's sister, for that is laying bare one's own flesh. They bear their wickedness. 20. And the man who lies with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They bear their sin. They die childless. 21. And the man who takes his brother's wife, it is uncleanness. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They are childless, and they shall guard all my laws and all right rulings and do them, so that the land where I am bringing you to dwell does not vomit you out. and do not walk in the laws of the nation which I am driving out before you, for they do all threats, and therefore I loathe them. But I say to you, you are going to possess their land, and I myself give it to you to possess it, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who has separated you from the people, and you shall make a distinction between clean beasts and unclean, and between clean birds and unclean birds, and do not make yourselves abominable by beast or by bird, or whatever creeps on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. And you shall Kodesh to me, for I Yahweh am Kodesh, and have separated you from the people to be mine. And 26 again, and I shall be Kodesh, and you shall be Kodesh to me, for I, Yahweh, am Kodesh. So, in other words, you shall be a holy people because I am holy, and have separated you from the people to be mine. And a man or a woman in whom there is a medium, or who are spirits, shall certainly be put to death. They are to stone them with stones. Their blood is upon their head. Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9, starting on verse 7, all the way to the end of the chapter. Amos 9:7. You are not like the people of Cush to me, O children of Israel, declare Yahweh. Did you not bring up Israel from the land of Mizraim, and the Perizzites from Haftarah, and Aram from Or? Look, the eyes of Adon, Yahweh, are on the sinful reign, and I shall destroy it from the face of the earth, except that I do not completely destroy the house of Jacob, declares Yahweh. For look, I am commanding, and I shall sift the house of Israel among all the Gentiles, as one sifts with a sieve, yet not a grain falls to the ground. All the sinners of my people are going to die by the sword. Those who are saying, evil does not overtake us, nor meet us. In that day I shall rise up the booth of David, which has fallen down, and I shall repair its breaches and raise up its ruins, and I shall build it as in the days of old, so that they possess the remnant of Edom and all the Gentiles on whom my name is called, declares Yahweh, who does this. See, right here, it includes the Gentiles who call on the name of Yahweh. 13. Look, the days are coming, declares Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him who sows seed, and the mountains shall drip new wine, and all the hills melt. And I shall turn back the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink wine from them, and they shall make gardens and eat their fruit. And I shall plant them on their own land, and not uproot them any more from their own land, for I have given them, said Yahweh, your Elohim. Acts chapter 15, starting on verse 1 through 21. Oh, nice and hot. Yeah. Acts 15, 1. And certain men came down from Yehuda and were teaching the prophets, unless you are circumcised according to the practice of Moses, you are unable to be saved. So when Shaul or Paul and Barnabas had no small decision and dispute with them, they arranged that Shaul and Barnabas and certain others of them to go up to Jerusalem to the emissaries and elders about this question. So being sent on their way by the emissary assembly, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, relating the conversation to the Gentiles, and they were causing great joy to all the brothers. And having arrived in Jerusalem, they were received by the assembly and the emissaries and the elders, and they reported all that Elohim had done with them. 5. And some of the believers who belonged to the sect of the Pharisees rose up, saying, it is necessary to circumcise them and to command them to keep the Torah of Moses. And the emissaries and elders came together to look into this matter. And when there had been much dispute, Kepha or Peter rose up and said to them, men, brothers, you know that a good while ago Elohim chose among us, that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the good news and believe. And Elohim, who knows the heart, will witness to them by giving them the Ruach HaKodesh, as also to us. In other words, they were baptized in the Holy Spirit. They were filled with the Spirit of God. And they made distinction between us and them, cleansing their hearts by belief. Now then, why do you try Elohim by putting a yoke on the neck of the Talmudim, which neither your fathers we were able to spare? But through the favor of the Adon, Yeshua HaMashiach, we trust to be saved in the same way as they. And all the crowd was silent and was listening to Barnabas and Shaul, declaring how many miracles and wonders Elohim did among the Gentiles through them. And after they were silent, Jacob answered, saying, men, brethren, listen to me. Shimon has declared how Elohim first visited the Gentiles to take out of them the people for his name, and the words of Nevi'im agree with this, as it has been written. After this I shall return and rebuild the booth of David, which has fallen down, and I shall rebuild its ruins, and I shall straighten it, so that the remnant of mankind shall seek Yahweh, even all the Gentiles on whom my name has been called, says Yahweh, who is doing all this, who has made this known from the old. Therefore I judge that you should not trouble those from among the Gentiles who are turning to Elohim, but that we write to them to abstain from the defilement of idols, and from whoring, and from what is strangled, and from blood. For from ancient generations Moses has, in every city, these proclaiming him, being read in the congregation every Sabbath. Then it seems good to the emissaries and elders with all the assembly to send chosen men from among them to Antioch with Shaul and Barnabas, Yehuda being called Barsabba, and Silla, leading men among the brothers. Having written by them hand this, the emissaries and the elders of the brothers, to the brothers who are of the Gentiles in Antioch and Syria and Cilicia, greetings. Since we have heard that some of you went out from us, troubled you with words, unsettling your lives, to whom we have given no command. It seems good to us, having come of one mind, to send chosen men to you with our beloved Barnabas and Shaul, men who have given up their lives for the name of the Adon Yeshua HaMashiach. We have sent therefore Yehuda and Silla, who are also confirmed this by word of mouth. This concludes the reading of the scripture, and I will all see you next week. Have a blessed day in Yeshua. May Yahweh shine his light upon you. May he lead you in the truth and righteousness and give you shalom in Yeshua's name. Amen. Until next time, shalom.